a city where, as you probably know, the tap water is toxic. Public servants, public institutions not only failed to prevent the crisis, their decisions created this crisis. The state of Michigan, in an effort to save money, switched Flint's water source to a cheaper but riskier alternative, the Flint River. Safeguards were ignored. That river water corroded residential pipes, and for nearly 2 years, lead leaked into the water used in people's homes. Now, for much of that time, the state downplayed the danger, even in the face of growing complaints and physical evidence. For 100 days, the federal government knew about it, and yet, in all that time, nobody told the people of Flint. They bathed in the water, they drank it, and so did their kids. Even today, lead is still present in some of the water. Tonight, the Democratic candidates are here to answer questions about what they would do for Flint, as well as about other issues facing the country right now. Each candidate has 1 minute for an opening statement. Senator Sanders is first. We begin with him. Senator Sanders.
Anderson, thank you very much. Over the last several weeks, I had the opportunity to meet with a number of residents of Flint, had a town meeting in Flint, and I have to tell you, what I heard and what I saw literally shattered me, and it was beyond belief that children in Flint, Michigan, in the United States of America in the year 2016 are being poisoned. That is clearly not what this country should be about. As Anderson indicated, there's a lot of blame to go around. And one of the points that I have made is that I believe the governor of this state should understand that his dereliction of duty was irresponsible. He should resign. But more importantly, what is happening in Flint to a lesser degree is happening throughout this country. In recent years, we have seen a proliferation of millionaires and billionaires, an increase in income and wealth inequality, and all over this country. Middle-class families are struggling, cities and towns are struggling in order to provide basic services. Among many other things, we need to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, our water systems, our wastewater plants, our roads, and our bridges. The wealthiest country in the history of the world has got to get its priorities right, take care of the people, no more tax breaks for billionaires.
Thank you, Senator. Secretary Clinton.
Well, I'll start by saying amen to that. We are here in Flint. I'm very grateful that my request that we hold this debate be held here so we can continue to shine a very bright spotlight on what has happened in this city. I agree. The governor should resign or be recalled, and we should support the efforts of citizens attempting to achieve that. But that is not enough. We have to focus on what must be done to help the people of Flint. I support 100% the efforts by your senators and members of Congress to get the money from the federal government in order to begin the work that must occur to fix the infrastructure. The state should also be sending money immediately to help this city. I know the state of Michigan has a rainy day fund for emergencies. What is more important than the health and well-being of the people, particularly children? It is raining lead in Flint, and the state is derelict in not coming forward with the money that is required.
Secretary Clinton.
And we'll get to what we need to do to help the children and the people when I have a little more time, because that's just as important as fixing the pipes.
We're going to have a lot of time for that. We want to begin tonight with the people of Flint themselves. This is Mickey Wade. She's a public housing program manager and the mother of 2 kids. She says she's currently undecided and has a question that both of you will be able to weigh in on. Ms. Wade?
The water has impacted our lives in such a way that living comfortably in our home isn't the same anymore. The constant drives to pick up water just so my children can wash their hair, to wash our fruits and vegetables, and to brush our teeth is incredibly difficult. Once the pipes are replaced, I'm not for sure if I will be comfortable ever drinking the water. If elected president, what course will you take to regain my trust in the government?
Single-payer system. We're all familiar with what those are.
Nikki,
So tonight, I think you're going to see a lot of agreement, and you're going to see...
Let you and your children and the people of Flint down. So I think there are several things. All the repair work that is being done, and Mayor Weaver announced a program that we support to begin to help train people in Flint to be able to do some of this work, to distribute the water. Everything that is done has to be triple checked to regain your trust and to hold those who are responsible for fixing the pipes and delivering the clean water, which, as you said, you bathe in it, you drink it, you wash food in it, you do everything with it. Every one of us should have to just run through in our minds how we use water every single day to understand the pressures and the real pain that families are going through. So I will make sure as president that I double and triple check. I will work with elected officials who I trust, like your mayor, like your senators, like your member of Congress, so that we can assure you that when it's fixed, you can trust it. You deserve nothing less.
Secretary Clinton, let me follow up with you on that. The people here, they still can't drink the water in their own homes, as you well know. They can't bathe their kids in the water here, and they are desperate for accountability and specifics. As president, can you give any specific about what you could do if you were president right now that would make Ms. Wade's life better and life better for people here?
Well, I support what President Obama is doing. He called for and got accountability from officials at the EPA who should have done more to make sure the state was doing its job. He has expanded Medicaid to begin the process of helping kids particularly get the health care they need. He's also ordered that there be a Head Start program. I support that. When it comes to the water itself, we are supporting a program that Mayor Weaver announced today, Flint Water Works, to actually pay people in Flint, not outsiders, people here, to deliver the water while we're fixing the pipes. And I would do even more of that. As president, you know, what we were able to put together was a beginning. As president, I would concentrate resources on this city for economic development, for more jobs, as we fix the water and provide the health and education interventions that children need.
Senator Sanders, for Ms. Wade, specific.
What is going on is a disgrace beyond belief. As President of the United States, this is what I would do. Is if local government does not have the resources, if state government, for whatever reason, refuses to act, children in America should not be poisoned. Federal government comes in, federal government acts. What is absolutely incredible to me is that water rates have soared in Flint. You are paying 3 times more for poison water than I'm paying in Burlington, Vermont for clean water. First thing you do is you say people are not paying a water bill for poison water. And that is retroactive. Second of all, to ease anxiety, CDC has got to come in here and examine every child and adult in this community in terms of the amount of lead they may have. Thirdly, in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, we have got to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, our water systems. I've got a bill for $1 trillion, creates 13 million jobs, rebuilding Flint, Michigan, and communities all over this country.
Thank you, Senator. We're going to have more on infrastructure shortly, but I want to follow up with you. This crisis in Flint, as you know, as everybody in this room knows, was created by the government. Your policies are about expanding government. Why should people from Flint trust that more government is the answer?
Well, that's a good point, Anderson. I suppose they can trust the corporations who have destroyed Flint by a disastrous trade policy, which have allowed them to shut down plants in Flint and move to China and Mexico. We could trust them, I'm sure. Or maybe, maybe, Anderson, tell you what, maybe we should let Wall Street come in and run the city of Flint. Because we know their honesty and integrity has done so much for the American people. Look, we live in a democracy. And I'm not the last person to deny the government is failing in many respects. But at the end of the day, I will trust the people to create a government that works for them rather than Wall Street or corporate America.
Secretary Clinton, you've now both called for the governor to resign. I believe that's new for you. Previously, you had not called for that, but you're calling for that tonight. It's easy to blame the Republican governor, Rick Snyder, but the federal government also dropped the ball here. According to Section 1414 of the Safe Drinking Water Act, the EPA has to step in and take action when a state is informed about water problems and doesn't do anything for 30 days, as the state here didn't do. The EPA knew for months and months, never warned the people of Flint not to drink the water. As president, would you fire the head of the EPA?